attack power here, and don't hit that skip button because we're diving right into the action today between Colonel Koenig and Hypokrass here on Tali Inhantala. On the left, in the red, we have Colonel Koenig playing 3rd U.S. Armored on V for Victory. And on the right, in the blue on the Axis side, we have Hypokrass playing 12th SS Panzer on Maverick Income. So here we go, folks. Fast-moving flamethrowers and such coming in. We have the spam of the armored cars, of course, SPW 233s and 231s coming out of 12th. We have a Panther D right off the bat. I don't see any jumbo wumbos right off the bat, though. Here on Tali, this push is very common. This M8, though, might be able to stop this Flammenwerfer from getting into position. Of course, the pressure here is on Hypokrass to win sooner, right? He's going to have an 800-point lead, coming out of B phase there. Does take out one of those flamethrowers. SPW 233 doing what it needs to. Takes out one of the M8. Nice kill there. 233s are just so good. This is, I would say, the best armored car in the game. Pretty solidly. Kind of always has been. I think always will be. Throwing out a lot of smoke here for the Colonel, though. Blocking off those 233s from doing more damage. The M5A1, though, might ruin this party for it. And down it goes. Yeah, needed that badly because otherwise he was going to have a really hard time getting through. These things are all over the place, swarming like wasps. These M5A1s should be a nice counter to these armored cars. Very exciting getting in here with his engineers and such. 12th will struggle in the woods. They don't have much CQC outside of the standard, Sturm Pioneer / wow, that actually bounced. That's kind of weird. Anyway, Sturm Pioneers and Pioneer stuff, which is pretty lackluster. Now, engineers aren't exactly like amazing infantry, but they're definitely better than a Pioneer squad in terms of actual CQC damage. I'm not saying in the void, Pioneer comes with a machine gun, which at certain situations is obviously a lot nicer than not having one. So depends. MG42 catching out that M1 gun. We would have loved to kill it. The M5A1, though, going to ruin that opportunity. His 233 is kind of blocked off right now because of this smoke, and he's getting into this woods. Love seeing the Colonel here being the aggressor despite not having the technical aggressive income. Of course, he does have a 20-point advantage here, so he's really trying to leverage his 200 extra points here in A phase by the end of it. Hypokrass so close to capturing this. I can't believe he hasn't just pushed forward a little bit to grab that. I'm sure all of his focus is trying to hold this town. This big bulge here, this will obviously get, this salient here will get popped pretty easily. That's not a big deal. 233 is going after the M301s. Does he have the heat on? No, he turned it off. So these are the higher accuracy, but still missing. Not exactly the most accurate weapons. And up north, the Colonel getting another kind of cheeky cap over here. This is a rifles with a BAR with the bazooka here. So all these armor cards and things have to be very careful. A lot of bazookas in 3rd Armored. Seen this division a lot lately. I guess the recent buffs to it have done what they intended to do and put this division back on the map. Would I say it's like a super strong division? No, it's very map specific, but it can be quite strong. And especially if you're a good player with armor cards and stuff, then yeah, it's fantastic. A lot of these top tier players are so good at microing just everything all the time that, these divisions can really shine because you're spending 5-10 points for a vehicle and that vehicle has to be dealt with and it's a pain in the butt. Flammenwerfer going after the M1 gun instead of the M19, which could kill it, but instead he throws down some smoke, stays after that M1 gun. That is, that's the prize here, right? Yeah, there you go. Now he can go after the M19 unless that M10 destroys him. Throws down another smoke. Yeah, they're just so on top of that micro. I'm so bad with smoke. It's not about me, but I am so bad with it. And now Hypokrass on the 1410, flipping it right back around. If you guys love this fast-paced action, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more Steel Division 2 content, and consider checking out the Patreon down below to support the channel and get some cool buffs. All right, back into it here. BAR pinned down by the SDK of Z. So we see, of course, some half-tracks coming out of 12th as well. Of course, 12th not as well equipped to deal with half-tracks and things. It's not like all their infantry have bazookas like 3rds does. Now, all their infantry does not, but a good chunk of it, a much larger chunk than your average division has AT. This SDK of Z feeling very ballsy here. MG42 out trying to cut off this line of reinforcements here. Surprised he hasn't pushed in here, but the Panzergren now in with the Panzerfaust, so he at least has some defense. One thing to remember about 12th, if you don't know, all of their infantry have fanatical, so they will not surrender, which makes them just obnoxiously difficult to get rid of. It's not that they're any stronger. They're no better in any other way. There's no statistical difference. It's simply the fact they will not surrender. SPW 233 goes down to the M1 gun, just a little too close. SPW 233's fabulous HE weapons. We'll take out this rifle's BAR. Nice kill there. Killing off that infantry still does matter. 3rd Armor does not have like a crap ton of it. M20 just pinning down stuff. I've seen this used twice now, actually, recently. 15 point, 50 cal. I mean, technically speaking, you spend 40 points for a 50 caliber like support machine gun. So here you're spending 15 points for the exact same machine gun. It just can't go in a house. It also moves 90 kilometers an hour. The logic behind it is actually like very confusing. Like when you really think about it, you get an armored unit for 15 points with a weapon that you would pay 40 points for otherwise. Strange, I agree. Surprised these units aren't shooting. There we go. Now they see each other. BAR does no. It only has 1 BR, so it's double MG42 versus 1 BAR. This should be a pretty clear-cut fight, especially with the no. The cover's equals. If the Flammenwerfer jumps forward, then it really is a done deal. But Panzergren doing what would be expecting immediately gets surrendered. Apparently the smoke. They were closer than we thought. It was just the smoke calling them off. Flammenwerfer will probably, flamethrower, excuse me, will probably beat out this Panzergren. It doesn't even look like it's shooting. It's waiting for rifles and some machine guns reload. Panzer IV gets taken out. Yeah, Hypokrass being a little bit loose with his armor here. I don't agree. Yeah, run away. Bazooka reloads really fast, so like you actually can kill multiple armored units. Panzer IV-J taking out that M301. Panzer IV-J's really efficient. They're 5 points less. They have a slower. No, what is the problem with them? They have the same armor. I want to say they have a slower turning rate, speed. I believe it's a slower turret turning speed. And for that, you get a higher availability and 5 points less. Worth it? Probably, yeah. I would say almost absolutely. Panzergrens will crush this infantry at range, though. At close range, no, definitely not. Hypokrass not falling back. He doesn't technically have to, but they'll still take way more damage. Does fall back just in time to dodge that grenade. Flamethrower. I keep saying flamethrower. Flamethrower throws down smoke trying to stay alive. Hypokrass still in the 1311 though, is ticking him down. Panzergren getting overwhelmed by the M5A1s everywhere. Panther D taking a pen from that M10. Definitely an issue. We do see M4A1 already. Koenig has his M4A1 76 is 1 in A phase and 1 in C phase. So, he will have 2 here to start the game, and then he won't get any more until C phase, especially because he's double vetting them. Little bubble here going on, a little hole. Encirclement, which should not last forever. I mean, he's got it cut off basically, so he's just got to close it and then it'll be gone forever. Back to a 1410 once that happens. He needs to clear this out though very badly. This flag is, quite frankly, relatively easy to capture. He just needs to get it. Panzer IV-J finally spots something. Hopefully this M20 because it's caused a lot of issues. Yeah, it's definitely the turning speed on this thing is very slow. The turret speed. There goes the M20. Nice kill there. MG42 in an awkwardly useless spot. 233s have been knocked down. Engineer got into the woods. M5A1 will now get to pressure this Panzergren. Panzer IV coming in to try to save the day. Problem is this Panzer IV can definitely die to all of this armor. Yeah, he's already getting shot, but the M8 does actually miss. Double star Panzer IV does take out that M8, but takes a penetration, which is huge. It allows the M5A1 now to kill this in one shot. And remember, this Panzer J firing, turning really slow with its aiming. So he needs the extra sight from this Panzergren for sure. So close to seeing him. So close. Engineer catching out the Flammenwerfer. It needs to run away. Panzer IV gets the kill, taking out both those light armor pieces. That's huge. Panzergrens might be able to get back in. We do see another Panzer Grenadier coming in. M5A1 pressuring this Flammenwerfer. Gets smoked down though to defend it. Apologies if the audio is not the usual quality. I am on the move at the moment. So it does put me in some odd spots that are not necessarily as ideal for audio. Panzer Grenadier, of course, the stronger unit at range, but with the cover differential, that's going to be a big issue. And of course, it's very damaged too. JU-188 out of Hypokrass. It's 40 points. It's not super expensive, but I am kind of surprised to see it. It's, I would think he'd want more units on the ground at this point just to keep pushing. Supply coming in. Supply in 3rd Armored is really important because you need all this APCR to keep being APCR, and you only get 2 shells, so you need, especially when you're dealing with Panther Ds, which you really can't kill without your APCR stuff. Normal M4A1 coming in. The 76 definitely can. This is capable, but it needs to be, within an okay distance. It can't be max range and expect to consistently pen. Panzergren finds the BAR infantry. Now, we do have a comfort differential, but the MG42, the double one, is so much stronger than the single BAR. It's pretty significant. JU-188 sucking up some... Oh, there we go. Jumbo Wumbo. These things are in my nightmares. I hate these things so much. They're just so frickin' obnoxious. Super high armor units are so obnoxious. It's the same with even just like the Cromwell 7 and stuff. Things that are just like abnormally up armored can be such a pain in the rump to deal with. Gonna suck up all that 50 cal ammo. We are now into phase B, so here's Hypokrass' time to shine. He either does it or this game is over pretty quick. Tali's a tough map to get a 15-9 on. He does currently have the 14-10, which is quite impressive. 70 Panzer IV missing that Sherman. But Sherman misses as well. Panzer IV taking another shot there, gets the penetration. Remember, the Panzer IV already has a pen on it, and yeah, it's going to go down. That's unfortunate. Could have gotten that first hit. He could have taken that out, but he did get one penetration on it, so it wasn't a complete loss. It just isn't great. Panzergren's having their fire split. This other one's not helping them out. That's kind of awkward. Could have used it. Engineer's forced to fall back, though. He would have loved to kill that off. That's unfortunate. 81 mil mortar. Dropping into the town, doing some nice damage. 231 going to go down to the BAR. Yep, the bazooka there of the armored rifle. And Koenig now back on the 13 level is able to reconnect with his troops here. Really awkward. That flag down again. Werframen coming in. Panther G now. I'm not 100% sure of this choice. I mean, I guess because it has the APCR, which can definitely penetrate the Jumbo Wumbo. So that's a plus. A Panzerschreck coming in here by itself. Oh, no, it's going... No, yeah, he changed his mind. Okay, good choice. Yeah, good choice. He was not getting through. Panzerschreck driving out into the open. Yeah, that's not a great choice. MG42 going to get hit by the 81. Ooh, that was spot on target. And the other one, yeah, he's got the radio here from the artillery commander. And, yeah, that's rough. Yeah, Panzerschreck goes down. It's kind of a waste of Panzerschrecks. He just, like, called them to really far forward positions, which is obviously not ideal. You really want the enemy to come to your Panzerschrecks. You don't really send your Panzerschrecks to the enemy. Panzergren does kill off that infantry. If he can kill off this engineer, he'll definitely pick up this flag. He may pick it up now. We'll see, but it's still 13-11 for Koenig. And Hypokrass cannot have that going on right now. Werframen in a dangerous spot with this BAR still... I keep calling him just BAR. This rifle's still sitting around. Werframen is looking at the Jumbo Wumbo kill. I'm not 100% sure, actually, will he micro out in time? Neither player does, and the grenades do go off. Werframen strike will probably incidentally kill this 50 cal. And here was what I'm talking about. 35 points for this thing. Nice hit there from the Werframen. Alright, he did some nice damage to that. Yeah, that's on the verge of death. One pen only will do it. Hypokrass back on the 13-11 with the capture of this flag and re-grabbing this one too. He's trying to get back over here. Panzerschreck is the only thing that can really fight the engineer right now. Pioneer got pinned down. More Pioneers coming in. We now have an M15 coming in to finally stop the free intel from the... down that goes from the JU-188. Panzer IV goes down to the M10 tank destroyer. Unfortunate loss there. Now that flag will crumple back in. Boitish Firefly here, though. Nice little thing to see. Don't see that often. Now, if this floats around long enough... Ooh, unit in the transport. You can't be doing that. Panther G in a nice spot here. Cover off all of this open ground here and block off any units coming over. And he has recaptured this, but he needs that 15-9. And he's not getting... He's actually back to a 12-12. Up north, he's... Hypokrass getting broken down here. Koenig playing really well up north. Breaking down all this stuff. Has a lot of unit concentration. JU-188, yeah, like, the truth is he could have just let it keep floating around here as long as possible to suck up ammunition from this thing. I know he does have a supply out, but it's still, it is a strat. It's a thing. Pioneer versus Engineer here. It's unfortunate because, you know, this Pioneer's been weakened. It's used a lot of stuff, and both these guys are actually going to throw. He's going to get his grenade off and mostly kill this, so basically it's a one-for-one trade for him, and that Engineer's already done a lot of damage, so... Yeah, he needs to recapture this flag as well. This is just a bad flag to lose. There's no reason. You can just put anything here, and it's really hard to get at it. You got to walk across and so on and so forth. Artillery going, trying to find some stuff down here. Panzerschreck getting super aggressive again. This time, though, it looks like it may succeed. It does get out, but it's moving to cover instead of just firing. Oh, it does. Even with the suppression, get the kill. That's big. He needed that. But there's more half-tracks to come. That's the issue. And it looks like he might have blew all his armored cars already because he hasn't called any more in. Wojciech Stalin takes out the Jumbo. Nice kill there. Needed that. Needed that really quite badly. Took a penetration, though. So that's very unfortunate. Wait, is that thing facing backwards? It is totally facing... Its butt end is showing. Oh, God. Yeah, this M4A1's going to absolutely wreck this thing. Because he's out there to be killed. Yeah, major misplay there from Hippo. Yeah, because now it's got to turn all the way around and down it goes. Yeah, that was an unnecessary loss. I wouldn't have left this here even if it was facing the right direction. Like, that's just really an aggressive posturing from it. Burframen going for the M4A176. Will it land? We'll see. The M10 tank destroyers in the American divisions are extremely efficient at 80 points. I mean, you're getting a very high APCR at 2K range for 80 points. It's very good. In other divisions that aren't American, they're pretty bad. But in these American divisions, when they get the APCR, they are quite deadly. I don't think that Werframen shot is going to hit. No, it's going to miss pretty bad. And it's got a pretty tight spread because he's pretty close. Oh, wow. Okay. Gets lucky, lands the hit, and kills the M4A1. That was a stroke of luck right there. Pioneers moving in. Should be able to kill these off. Has resecured this. I mean, up north, Koenig is dominating. But in the center, Hypokrass has made some progress. Although he doesn't have a lot of troops in the field. He still has 4 more minutes of Maverick income. But I think Koenig has out-traded him pretty noticeably so far. If you look on the map. Hypokrass has a lot less units and should have a lot more units. That's the point. He's already gotten, what, 7 ticks now of more income, which is, what, 7 times 8, 500 points. Subtract the 200 points from A phase. So he should have 300 points more stuff on the map if they traded perfectly equal. I think it's pretty clear he does not, considering all this stuff. Now, the half-tracks definitely beef it up, makes it look like there's a lot of units here. A lot more units than perhaps there are actually called-in units. But still, not a great spot, I don't think. Still plenty of time to turn around. Of course, the real danger is, you know, really the 20 to 23 minute mark when you really have the maximum amount of income bonus. Panzer IV versus M4A1. Yeah, not great. Yeah, M4A1's going to get the first hit. Oh, but Panzer IV changing targets now. Does get a pen on each, but doesn't kill either, and that's going to be an issue. IG-18's moving in now. This one actually did get a pen with its heat shell. Not going to do much more, though, because it's out of heat shells. Panther D moving forward, catching out these infantry here. M10's backing off. Pioneers into the woods. Gonna get their grenade off. MG42 kills off the recon. Nice kill there. Not capturing this, though. Hippo needs this flag. But he can't really push that far forward. The M5 gun can just move forward at any point and clear this out. More half-tracks with Panzergrens coming in. Artillery coming down. Excuse me, smoke. Not artillery. It is artillery, technically, but it's smoke. Panzerschreck in a really cheeky position. And the fact that he has this Panzerschreck here makes it really surprising that he's not pushing this more aggressively. I mean, if his Panzerschreck is sitting here, he clearly knows there's not that much going on. That is such a cheeky spot. Problem is he can't kill this half-track either. This is what playing against, like, 3rd Armored and Panzer Lair, this is what makes these so frustrating. There's just so many half-tracks everywhere. So your infantry cannot move unsupported. Like, they just cannot move at all by themselves. And it's hard to be everywhere with an anti-armor piece all the time. And it's not just an anti-armor piece. It's a light anti-armor piece. Like, you don't want big, heavy tanks to do this. You need lighter things that can just be all over the place, and you're not risking high-value assets to kill a freaking half-track. JU-188 again, a little too deep. This was kind of unnecessary. He knows the AA is here, so I'm not sure why he didn't just let it float around sort of kind of back. IG-18 sitting out in the open, getting rapidly pinned by the 50 cal. Panzergren never made it over the bridge. Didn't die, so that's good, but obviously was weakened and is now standing out in the open. The armor contingent here holding these off. We do see a 250/9, so we did have more armored cars, just didn't bring them in until now. Surprising because they are generally a pretty good counter to the half-tracks. They're not incredible. I mean, they take a little bit of effort to get the kills. You can see this time it got a nice burst. First burst basically did nothing. It's kind of, I would even say, a little bit random whether they're good or not. Ooh, APCR gets a loader knockout on the Panther D. There's more APCR to come. Here it is. And it gets the kill. Oh, Panther down. Nice kill here for Koenig. Taking more advantage here. Panthers are high value kills. Another Panther D in here. This Panther G out of position. There's no reason for it to exist if it's going to sit in this woods doing literally nothing. Focke-Wulf coming in for the 50 cal. Nice run, but there is the M15. I was going to say the suppression's is too fast. It can't just be 50 cals. A massive 50 cals can do more suppression than you expect them to do, but it shouldn't be that fast. M4A176 finding the STK of Zed. It's not getting microed right now, and down it goes. STK of Zed 250/9 chewing through these infantry. It's, obviously always does that really well. MG42 getting killed by the M4105. Panzerschreck did get killed. He got spotted and found, so that little cheek fun play is over. Panther D moving in because it's moving. It misses that M3 half-track, and now it's going to stop. The half-track's going to get away. It's going to have to keep chasing it. Artillery now, we have an 81mm mortar out of Hypokrass here. Unfortunately, his target is out of radio range after losing that Panther. Verbalvin coming in. Have we seen any Air Force out of... We've seen no air out of Koenig, so kind of a shocking call, and especially with the last of his Maverick income, because we are now into sea phase. Now, of course, the advantage still sits with Hypokrass for the next 4 to 5 minutes here. Until V for Victory's income kind of balances it out. And even then, there's still another minute or two until your troops actually reach the front. Enough portion of those points actually reach the front to function. Hypokrass currently on a 1410 has not been able to pick up the double tick at any point. Panzer IV gets a pen, gets penetrated itself as well. SDK of Zed helping out. Issue with these things, they just run out of ammo. They're so fast. They have so little. I think they have... Well, let's see how many bursts they have. Yeah, they basically have like 12 to 13 bursts, and that's it, and they're dead. And they're basically just a machine gun platform. And this is unfortunately not a 50 cal, so it's not anywhere near the value of like the random US units with a 50 cal on them. Panther D in a nice spot here to cut off any more reinforcements. It looks like it took a pot shot at the half-track and did not get lucky, so bummer there for Hypokrass. Very lucky there for Colonel. Sure, he's happy about that. Panzergren getting wiped out. Hypokrass not fast enough on the retreat button here. I've seen this several times. Units just kind of sitting out. There is a 50-minute time limit here, so, I mean, technically, we got 27 minutes if we get back to 12-12 and Hypokrass can hold this. It's much more likely he might be able to hold the 13-11 for 17 more minutes, I would say. Neither feels super likely, though, because he's nowhere near defeating Colonel Koenig, and now we are getting into, the real C phase V. It's time for the second half of the V of victory. M4A1 moving forward again. Panzer IV trying to get locked on, not doing it fast enough, goes down. Ooh. Nice play there from Colonel, taking out both those armor pieces. Black 41 cutting down the road, that's nice, but all these units already deployed. I mean, it's incredible to think that Hypokrass has had 800 more points. Well, not 800, 600. 600 more points. Has had 600 more points than the Colonel at this point, because if we look on the map, I mean, it does not look like that. And again, the Verbalvin kind of an odd call and in a very dangerous position. It does not need to be there. I don't even know where it could go that it's really safe at this point. Maybe like back here, honestly, would probably be the place I'd put it. The issue is once Red pushes up far enough, it can start to just completely cut off all of these reinforcement roads here. You can cut off the reinforcement roads here into this area. Yeah, it's tough. 1410 still. He did finally grab the center here, but now he lost the southern flag, so that's why we're still at the 1410. Smoke coming down, some sort of push coming. Yep, here it comes. Line of armored rifles. Where are we headed? Back into the town here. So he's just trying to cut off the Panther D and stuff so that he can get into the town. Whole pile of M10s over here. Oh, I thought there was more M10. No, it's a recon and a leader. So he's just like creating a little like armored giga force over here. An armored strike force. Yeah, and here's an M4-105. So he's got it all. He's got AT, he's got HE, he's got recon, he's got leader, he's got supply. I mean, this is like the ultimate gathering of units here. 250/9 moved forward to stop the armored cars he knew were coming, but unfortunately, the M5 gun here and the M5 gun here both killing that. Oh, actually, it was the M5A1 killing that off. Now, this Panzer gun does have a Panzerfaust, though, so it takes out one. Will it reload for the second? Does, but does not catch the unit in the transport, unfortunately, for Hypokrass, and he cannot stop the last one. Of course, he won't surrender, and, I mean, you can't ask for him to do much more than that. Tons of smoke, just smoke everywhere. There is now, nope, still just one artillery piece, but we do have a SK-18 back here. Very good artillery piece, but I'm not sure its effect will be that significant, especially because the 81 Mortar can simply move. Now we can see the effect of tons of 50 caliber machine guns. It's a lot of 50 cal. It's always hilarious when you watch an American division with their 50 cal just blasting at every single plane. It's a little ridiculous, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Eugen could definitely do something where, like, tanks don't shoot at planes. I mean, they don't really do much of anything, so I don't... Me, personally, I don't want my tanks wasting their 50 cal ammo on a freaking plane. It's just useless. I mean, of course, yeah, when you get to, like, ridiculous levels like this, then sure, maybe it does something, but... On the whole, I'm not, and also it reveals all their positions. Like it's very revealing. Like the JU-188 doesn't actually need to see any of this. You can just see the machine guns firing. Mortar half track trying to go for this giga cluster of armor. It's not going to do much though. M10s are open top. Yeah, so I guess he killed one just as I speak. Cast or curse, that's what I get. Sorry, Colonel. I had to speak. It was my fault. I mean, mortars are effective against open top stuff. It just feels like there's so many other things going wrong. I feel like I would pick the radio option and go after something in this cluster of stuff instead. Just me, though. Hypokrass is obviously better than me. He beat me, so maybe I should zip it. Panzer trying to get back in to capture this flag. The half-track, though, is going to consistently hold that off. Can he get within Panzerfaust range? Yeah, probably. But he'd really have to work it. Like, he'd have to know it's there, and he'd have to properly work around it. Panzergren's catching out the armored rifles. The armored rifles do not have a light machine gun. That's why they're not firing back. Only 20 points, though, and for 20 points, this is pretty fantastic. You get a bazooka, you get semi-automatic rifles. I mean, you can't ask for a lot more than that. This Panther G is still sitting around doing nothing. Kind of disappointing to see Hypokrass leave such a high-value unit lying around. And Hypokrass still holding his 1311. I mean, credit to him. He continues to tick Colonel down. And, I mean, I feel like Koenig is just kind of playing very passively right now. I mean, he recaptured this flag. It's not like he's not making progress. It just feels a bit passive based on how many units he has on the map. Panther getting side shot. It does take out the M5A1 Recon. Now has to back up. Down it goes. Armor crack from something over here. The M10, I would assume. Another big loss there. Hypokrass doesn't exactly have extra points to be thrown around. 14-10 though, again, it looks like he did capture this flag down here, but now getting forced off by that M3A1. Not just M3, sorry. Oh, yeah, that was odd. It was probably called it in expecting it to come in some other direction, and it came right down the center of everything. These M5 guns, very, very strong. Panther D, what's it going after? M10 Tank Destroyer. Oh, man, that APCR is so good. Gets a penetration, gets a little bit of damage on that. Panther D gets its pen. Panther will struggle to kill this jumbo at every range, but especially at long range. It can pen it at close range, but that means it's got to get close. And there's still an M4A176 sitting around here, which is perfectly capable of killing that Panther. It's moving into position to do exactly that right now. M3A1 half-tracks proving to be very difficult to get through. Flak 41 catching out some infantry, not a big deal. And this flag fall, almost. He will have this flag most likely in a moment here, and will bring it back to a 12-12. Panther D going down to the 76. Yeah, another huge piece of armor. Verbalvin now is very safe from the M3A1, but I mean, it can kill it, of course. It's still like very aggressive position for this thing, but it did a nice job. It's got a lot of shots. It's not like it's going to run out of ammo or anything. But now the tanks are hunting it. Like I said. Oh, okay, I thought it was going out the river. Half-track's just driving in now. Yeah, so now the Colonel's noticing, you know, he's picking up, you know, maybe I've traded pretty darn well. Maybe it's time to make some pokes. Back to a 12-12. Oh, wow. Somehow Hypokrass keeps grabbing this. Yeah, there we go. All right. Koenig has grown tired of waiting. And I would agree. Jumbo moving in. Panzer IV can't deal with that. Like I said, a close-range Panther might have been able to, but they're all gone. Another one coming in, though. Those buffs to these Panthers desperately needed for these divisions. And it's showing here because he's actually able to bring these in. And here comes the wave of them. Pack 40, Panther G, Pack 40. There's a lot of AT here. They may be able to hold this off. Flak 41 gets one more shot off, misses. Leader goes down. Pack 40, Panther G all over the place. Grilla taking something out. Oh my goodness, Panther missing in key moments. Pack 40 now pinned down. That's not good. Panther G, though, that's going to be the issue. These M3A1s can pin down all the packs they want. The Panther is not going anywhere. It's too in this forest to be caught by any AT that's sitting around, which is 0, really, other than the 76. Panther G taking its good old time to finish this stuff off, but it is successfully killing everything. So big half-track push there. Panzergren got in, killed the half-track here. Panther G moving up. It's got to be careful against this M10, though. You don't want that fight. Panther G, no, loses sight on the Jumbo. Falca will try to take out that M10 before it can get involved. Did that miss or did that hit? I couldn't see. Oh, why is it firing AP and IPC? I think... Oh! Oh, an armor crack. Oh, my God. Y'all know that GIF? I don't know if it's a GIF or just a meme. Oh, down goes the M4A1 to a Grilla. That was a nice kill. Oh, Jumbo goes down to the Panzer IV on a side shot. Woo! Anyway, I need that meme, you know, the dude sitting there with the vein pumping out of his head like... It's just like, oh my God. Watching a fresh Panther get armored cracked is yeah, that's pretty bad. And now the North collapsing here as Koenig piles in. Gonna capture this town back momentarily as well. Of course, it takes a while because the Panzergrens don't surrender. M3A1 pushing forward aggressively. Grenfjord, though, does have a Panzerfaust, so can take out that half-track. I mean, Verbalvin goes down to the M4A1. Now there's nothing here. Panzer IV, both coming in here. But Hypokrass has, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 units on the board. The fact that there's so few that I can count them is indicative to how poorly this is going for him. Double P51 coming in, going in for the strike on the Pack for... No, I'm just kidding. It's going for the Panther G. First bombing strike kind of misses. Second one also kind of misses. Neither of those really landed. I'm sure they did a little bit of damage, but not as much as they should have. This one actually lands and kills that Panther G, so another massive loss for Hypokrass. And now there's a Panzer IV driving out in the middle of nowhere. That is not ideal for it to be doing that. 16-8 now for Koenig. Yeah, the line, this is collapsing now for Hypokrass. Now on the double tick. Continuing to play, though. Always respect that. Panzergrenfjord now spotted and getting wiped out. Panzer IV is moving in. Going after the M4A176. Somehow that doesn't see it yet. Now it's finally targeting up. Getting a bounce. At this range, it will bounce shells from time to time. Panzer IV will not do the same, though. Let's get the penetration. Down the Panzer IV will go, but the 76 will also go down. The issue, of course, I mean, he's got plenty of 76s to spare here. So that loss is minor. That loss is massive for Hypokrass. Trying to get back in here with a Panzer Schreck and a Panzer Gren to turn it around. We'll recapture some flags here. Might bring it back to a 1410, incredibly. Yeah, armored rifle out of position to use its bazooka at that moment. So yeah, back to a 1410. Hypokrass fights on. Gotta respect the not surrendering. Although me personally, my life is busy enough. I don't have time to get smacked around for an extra 10 minutes. Panzer taking out that armored rifles, though. Getting in there. Nice play. A lot of Panzer coming in. I'm not sure how he's going to deal with all this armor, though. I mean, the issue is still every time a Panzer comes up against a half-track, that's that. I mean, you're not going any further. Focke-Wulf's just flying around. No, the AA is still functional. It's just not very good. I don't think these M15s are very good at all. It just, the 37 mil is very underwhelming. I shouldn't say it's not good. It's just, it's underwhelming. For how much it costs, it feels like it should do much better because it is it's an 85-point AA piece. It feels like it should be a little bit more effective. Furframen, I'm not sure if is it going for the town? No, it's going up north. Wait, what? Going for the M10, I guess? It's kind of odd. Ooh, Panzergren goes down in the transport. He can't be doing that at this point. His reinforcements are too precious. Triple P-51 coming back in again. All of them going for the Panzer IV. I mean, they will kill it. 3 bombing strikes will generally kill a tank. I should say 3 direct bombing strikes like this will generally kill a tank. 2 and 3. Yep, that'll do it. That'll do it. That'll do. Wait, what is that from? Oh, that'll do, donkey. That'll do. There we go. Drop in the comments. You know what it is. And if you're still here, thanks for being awesome. Let me know in the comments if you liked the immediate start to the video. Taking out that kind of discussion part and the talking about what comes down at the beginning. Is this the way to go? Because truthfully, a lot of you leave at the beginning of the video. I have like a 50% drop at the beginning of the video. So, data would tell me I should skip the opener. But I'm also not trying to screw all the real people who watch. Because obviously, you know, at least some percent of those are bots or, you know, people who clicked on it not knowing what it was or people who clicked on it. I don't know why they clicked on it. If they're going to X out of it right away, it's kind of confusing. I honestly don't know how in the first 5 seconds of a video you can know you don't want to watch it. Especially if you clicked on it, knowing what it was. Like, it's pretty clear. I don't know. Whatever. Ignore my musings. M5 gun going after the Panzer IV. Hypokrass has not noticed, and he really doesn't have the units to spread. Oh, no. Yeah, no, it's going after. Yeah, oh, God, it gets a crew kill, and that's that. Panther D. Wow, Hypokrass saving up for Panthers at this point is really something else. Not going to lie. Panzergren happened to be getting hit by this. Furframen did move, but now the Panzergren drove into it. That's unfortunate. Pack 40 now in return fire, nearly dead. I mean, these die off, and all these flags go, too, but it is back to a 15-9 double tick. Colonel still, I mean, there's... Hypokrass is still up. If he can bring it back to a 14-10, he has to hold out for 12 more minutes. So I do understand why he hasn't surrendered yet, but he's in a really, really bad spot. Koenig throwing down smoke. Honestly, a little redundant at this point. But he doesn't know how much is still over here. We, of course, have the God vision. What's coming in, though? It's a couple... No, not infantry. Are any of these units even moving? I'm not sure what the point of this is if he's got nothing coming to go there. I understand the practical usage. Cut off the Pack 40. I get it. So it... No, that's not even going anywhere. Is it... I don't... I'm a little confused. And that's a lot of smoke. It's not just like a little smoking. Oh, Panther G goes down to the M5 gun. Really nice there by Koenig. He's letting Hippo drive these things right to their doom. Now the Sherman's spotting something out. Eating up some infantry. Pack 40 does spot the M3A1, so we do finally see movement here. M3A1 will pin before it kills, honestly. Another flag down, and the Pack 40 goes down, and now the collapse of the line. Panzergren desperately rushing in. Pack 40 here getting some shots off. The line is collapsing. Still not an 18-6 though. 18-6 will bring it to triple tick, and then we'll really see the flags drain. Pack 40 dropping the ball right now. I'd be fuming. Missed 2 shots already. P51 coming in to finish that off. Will get it killed before the M3 goes down. So now that half-track can capture this flag. And we will see the 18-6 triple tick there. Only 4 minutes now before Hypokrass's demise. P51 coming in now, and Hypokrass finally decides to throw in the towel. Not that a triple tick has been achieved. 40 minutes, 54 seconds on Tali. Yeah, 4,480 to 29.95. So Colonel Koenig moving on to the finals of Division 2 Steel League Season 10 here. Kills, it's not particularly surprising. M4A1s did quite well. They have the extra range. Yeah, the 76s here doing much better because they can actually reach out and kill stuff. Honestly, one of the best units in this division by far. It's a pretty efficient unit, honestly. Can do nice penetration. It's not super duper expensive. And it has relatively good armor. You know, the Shermans do. They have pretty solid armor. Especially the Sherman 5s. You know, that is a Sherman 5. And the M4A1. Okay, so it doesn't have the better armor. It has a slightly worse armor. Yeah, the Panthers really underperformed, and I'm not going to blame the Panthers for this one. I think Hippo was a little bit overly aggressive with them at times and let them out to die several times. In the places when they were sitting in the right spots, they did a lot of damage. So, yeah, if you guys enjoyed that, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and consider supporting on Patreon. Thanks a bunch, and have a fantastic day.